All right, the first thing you're going to do when you go to your iPad is go to the App Store right there in the middle. I'll show you how to quickly search for CropEdge in there, and it'll bring that app right up, and you can just download it directly from the App Store. So very simple and easy way to access the app once it becomes available. Now, when it gets to the app itself, I'm going to open that up, and you're gonna see that it already recognizes you as the seed advisor. It's going to know all your growers, the products in your catalog, etc. And so on the left-hand side, on the top, I'm going to go to My Growers and just show you what that looks like. You can see I've got a list of all the growers from CropEdge on the left. I can do some searching features there, create a new grower to create a proposal for if it's a prospect. And then I can go down my list and I can also see how many proposals or what proposals have been done in CropEdge or in the app to date. So it syncs back and forth and you can see that list showing up right there. The other thing that I'll show you on the top is you can see that they've got the customer segment. And so whether they're an acquire or retain, going to come into play when we get to the program side, but that's where you can find that information right there. Now going back to the home screen, you can see that My Proposals is the other button on the top in the middle. And this is going to be a list view of all the proposals in sequence of date that they were created. So you can see those all listed out there for you in the screen. The other button from the home page that you'll use is the top right, which is the templates button. If I click on that, you can see that I've created a template for my early season proposals. I could do another one for in season, but if there's a product mix that you like to use or that works well in your area that you want to standardize, you can create that template and then create a new one and just select the grower that you want to apply to it, and then you're off and running. So those are the three main buttons that you'll use from the home page. I'm going to go back into My Growers now, and I'm going to actually create a proposal. So if I found a grower that I want to create one for, I'm just going to touch that New Proposal button right there in the middle. And there's a couple different ways you can build it. You can enter the description over the top if you have a description you want to call this one. And then the easiest way to build it is just to go to your favorites. If you've designated favorites from CropEdge, they're going to show in this list. And you can very easily just add those products into your proposal. The other way that you can do that is by crop. So if I touch that corn icon right there in the middle, you can see that I can search for different attributes. I can search for Duracade, paper bags. I can do my treatment selection as well. And then if I wanted to narrow down my maturity by using the sliders, I could do that as well. Once you've selected your products, you just touch the check mark off to the right and then add those to the proposal. The same thing can be done on the soybean side. If I wanted to search for specific products in a specific packaging and treatment or maturity range, I could do that as well from this page. So once I have the products brought into the proposal, I have this rate calculator here. If I don't know how many units I need, I can type in the rate of planting and the number of acres that are on the field, and it'll give me a proposed number of units to add to that line. Now that's just an optional feature. You can still just go into the line and just enter the number of bags or boxes that you want to put on this proposal, and that still works just fine. So once you have all the units entered in there, the next thing you're going to want to do is go to the discounts page. So on the discounts page, that's where you're going to see all of the flexibility that we've added for programs. So you can see you've got your volume there, that if you want to give this grower volume, you toggle that on and you can enter in the standard discount, or you can enter in a higher or lower amount if you so choose. The other thing you can do, if it's a seed producer, that'll automatically be on for the 2%, but you can toggle on if you want to. Accurate offer, you can see this was a retained grower, and so it defaults to the standard retain offer for this guy, which is 3%. And if I wanted to change that, or if I wanted to upgrade him to the growth offer, I can do that as well. If there was enough units to warrant a growth situation, it would automatically toggle to that. But just so I can show you what that looks like, if I select growth, now it's going to show me the number of prior year paid units that they had and the number of current year units, so you can see the growth shown there. If you have an adjustment that needs to be made to those prior year units, or they're just not showing up, that's something that you can immediately adjust in this proposal and then work with your customer account specialist to rectify that in the system later. But you can see that that now qualifies this for the 5% growth. I'm just going to take this back to my retain offer, and then competitive allowance, you can enter that at the crop level with $1 per unit, or you can enter it at the line level. If you wanted to give a specific discount on a product, you can do that as well using that competitive allowance on the specific lines. So you can now see my total competitive allowance populated there. And no need to double enter competitive allowance this year. When you create a proposal with competitive allowance and you go to CropEdge and convert that to an order, that will, all the programs will follow in to that order this year. So that should cut down on a lot of the double entry that was needed in 2020. And then the last program here is early pay. So you can see we've got it broken down into cash, golden advantage, and financing. So if I wanted this grower to participate in golden advantage, I just touch that down arrow and it's going to show me all the periods, deadlines, along with the discounts, and then the savings and the amount that you need to pay in full. One of the things that we've added new for this year is the ability to select a period. So you can see I've toggled the second pay period on in this case, and it's populated the total payment automatically. Same thing with the first payment period there. So I'll just do the first payment period, and I'll just show you what happens if I expand the cash. So the cash is also something that you can choose at the line item level or the pay period level, but for me, I'm just gonna leave my golden advantage on there. So now that I've finished doing my programs, I'm gonna hit the apply button and then save. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna save that information and create the proposal in the app and then send that information over to CropEdge. So now once it completes and it saves, it's now a valid proposal on both CropEdge and the app, and you can open that up from either system. So now to view this proposal, I'm going to go down to the bottom and go to the share button. And this is where we've got a lot of the customization of how you're going to view the output. So you can see we've got a revised layout with the Golden Harvest logo and then some information about the grower and also the seed advisor right there at the top. So we've really done a lot of work to clean this up and make this a lot more professional looking document for you guys to hand to the customers. The other thing that you'll see on this is that we've got a predictive table in the details section here. So there's that toggle button right in the middle, which is green. And if you have it toggled to predictive, you're going to see this view where you've got each one of the pay periods listed across the top. And at each line level, you can see the farm gate that they're going to pay at the first, second, third, and fourth pay periods, and then what they're going to get if they have no early payment. And this is just a way to show them from a predictive standpoint what they're going to save if they pay by the first deadline versus if they pay by the second, third, or fourth. So it's just a way to kind of show what they're paying by period. The other option you can see, if I toggle this back over to the actual amount, this is going to be more in line with what you seen in 2020, where it's based on an actual payment and it all drives off of that one payment. So you can see now we've got the list price, total price, and then the one single farm gate that represents this cash pay period. So I'm going to toggle it back to predictive here. And you can see the discount waterfall there with the gross total, discount, subtotal, and then the proposal breakdown. So you can see I've got my volume discount applied. It's a retained grower, so he's got the retained 3%, and then the competitive allowance, all broken out by corn, soybeans, and then my total. Now, if you don't want to show this, if you think this is unnecessary noise that the grower doesn't need to see, you can just hit that arrow on the right-hand side, and you can collapse that whole thing, and it won't show in the output to the grower. Moving on down to the payment details. So this is where you're going to see your early pay periods. Now I've selected Golden Advantage first period, and so that's highlighted in red there right in the middle. So that's how you know what that total balance is based off of. You can see all the way on the left-hand side, we've got these check marks, and those are basically creating an a la carte option for you on the early pay table. What I heard was that there are times when you're going after business early season and you don't want to necessarily show them all the periods that they have the option to pay in. So you just want to show them maybe the first period or the first two periods. Well, now you can hide those on the output by just unchecking those lines in this screen. And that's where you do that. And then the last thing down there at the very bottom, you can see hide line farm gate. So this corresponds to the top graph that you see where I've got all of my early pay program dates, and then I've got my farm gate listed out. If I check that box, it's gonna take away all the product level farm gates and just show me how much I'm paying per bag for corn and how much I'm paying per bag for soybeans. And this was based on a lot of feedback, again, that I've gotten from seed advisors that say, you know, some of them really appreciate the detail of the product level, and some of them really just don't want to see that noise again. So they just want to see how much am I paying for corn, how much am I paying for soy. So that's how you're going to do that from the output perspective. I'm just going to open this back up, and now I'm going to share this. So now that I've got this proposal looking the way that I want it to look, I've got my pay periods shown. I'm going to hit that share button one more time, and that's going to pull up a list of options where I can send this out to my customer using an email. I can send it out to them using a text message, or if I'm a seed advisor and I want to send this to my sales rep for review, or if I want to send it to myself so I can have it, I can do that right here. I'm just going to go to my email. I'm going to send it to myself, and it's going to go as a PDF. You can add text to the body of this email when you send it, or you can enter the subject, whatever you want to enter in there. You can send that via email, and then the same thing with text. So now I just finished sending it. It's done. It's off. It's gone as a PDF to myself. Now I can go to my inbox on the email and look at it. So that concludes the demo.